sucker for love. And in this world full of suckers, you fit mine like a glove. The fit is perfect, but nobody above, yeah. The clock's ticking as the time flies by. We in two different worlds, but living the same life. Two different dreams, you make me feel so alive. Need you by my side, need you by my side. Just a power couple daily blowing off steam. Making love to you so damn seamlessly. We be doing it so damn frequently. Easy cause we on the same damn frequency. Take it to the Sunset Boulevard. Tell mama says she wanna tag along. She don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. Yeah, we'd always get along. Even through the downs, gotta stay strong. Now we singing the same song. All I ever, yeah, is think about you. I think about you daily. So baby girl, don't play me. All I ever, yeah, is think about you. They call me Dan, the Lakers DTLF. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another video, guys. Got the latest updates plus the final video before regular season. We're here to prepare, man. Lakers news yesterday. RJ Davis was waived. We're going to talk about that. Plus, I'm going to rank 15 through 1 on who I thought after preseason should get the most minutes to the least minutes. All right, so we're going to start with the least all the way to number 1. And it's also going to combine from preseason with who I believe should be ranked higher than the other as far as the value that they bring to the table and what these players are going to do, man. But it's so good to see you guys, man. Again, it is officially Sunday right now, October 19th, 7:30 Pacific time, guys. It's going to be crazy because we are just 2 days away from regular season tip-off. And so I thought it would be the perfect time to do this ranking and to bring in the players that I believe best deserve minutes versus the ones I believe the least that deserve minutes, all right? So we're going to start with the power rankings. And let's start with the worst player on the roster and who I believe probably doesn't deserve minutes as of right now. Again, these power rankings can change. We're probably going to do one midway through the season and then one at the end of the season. When it's all said and done. Let's start with the player that I think has the least talent as far as, where he's developed right now and probably least deserves to get PT. And that's going to be Bronny James at number 15, okay, on this roster. And we're not going to do the two-way unless I feel like they deserve minutes. But this guy right here has a guaranteed roster spot. There's been a lot of controversy on whether he should even be on the roster. I don't mind him being on the roster, but I just don't think he's showcased enough in preseason to warrant him actually playing. Now, here's Bronny James' stats in preseason, guys. All right, through 38 minutes total. He was a DNP in the final game versus the Kings. All right, he ended up with only 13 points in the entire preseason in over 3 games. All right, 1 for 17 from the field, 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. He did have 8 rebounds in total, 5 assists and 2 steals and a block in over 3 games. Just not good enough, man. It's just not good enough to for me, in my opinion, for him to actually deserve minutes. And I think he's probably the biggest liability on the roster right now. He's just kind of too undersized. He can't score. His defense is okay when he's guarding shorter point guards, but there's a lot of size out there. Amir, appreciate the super chat. Thank you, brother. But there's just I have to put him at 15, guys. And it's not all negative. He still has potential, okay? I still see potential in the kid. I just think he's going to have to have more time in the South Bay Lakers to continue to develop because, again, he had a pretty solid summer league, but the preseason, again, was an atrocity. 13 points in 3 games, 1 for 17 from the field, 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Those are just not good numbers, man, no matter how we slice it and how we dice it. And it's unfortunate that RJ Davis got cut because I would have put RJ Davis ahead of him in the rankings, right? I definitely would have. So yeah, for sure. I think he's number 15 for sure. Coloco's not even in my top 15. He's a 2-way contract, and he's even worse as far as rankings go because he's just too sloppy, right? But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Am I being too harsh on Bronny? I think, yeah, you know what? And there's some upside to Bronny James, right? He is a second-year player. He'll continue to develop, guys. He'll continue to get better. Again, he had a very good summer league, but I'm sorry. I have to put him that low on my list at number 15 just based off of what he produced. Right, Amir? Right, brother? We have to put him down there just based off of the lack of production. And that's that. Another guy who has disappointed me. And also, I'm going to give you guys my starting lineup for the beginning of the season, what it should be versus what it will be. But for now, power rankings, Bronny James comes in at 15. At number 14, I got to put Dalton Connect. I have to put Dalton Connect at number 14. And I'll tell you, man, Dalton, his stats weren't much better. He ended up with only 29 points in the entire preseason in 4 games, 116 minutes total. He had, 29 points in total for 4 games. That's just not good enough. He went 3 for 17 from beyond the arc and 9 for 34 combined field goal from the field. That is not very efficient. He did have 11 rebounds, 4 assists in over 4 games, 160 minutes played total. He averaged 7.3 points per game, and he started a couple of those games. So, again, to me, Dalton just didn't sound – he didn't show enough for me to really put him any higher than number 14. He just didn't. I'm sorry. He just didn't. And Dalton is number 14. Sorry, my banner's messed up there. I meant 14, not 4. So, yeah, he's at number 14 for sure. That's where he should be. And, again, I'm disappointed in Dalton, man. Not only did it not help his draft stock, but or should I say his player stock but he hurt it, in my opinion. Not only did he not help it, but my guy Solo says Bronny needs to develop in the G League. I agree with that. Bro. He needs some more development time. My guy Tony says, do you think Bronny James will be out of the league when LeBron retires? If he doesn't show more than what he has, I don't know, bro. Because LeBron has a lot of power in this league and he pulls a lot of strings. But as of right now, Bronny for sure is number 15. Dalton, number 14. I mean, these are players that I expected to see more from in year 2. And so far, 0 for 2. 0 for 2 as far as what they have shown. I also believe that Dalton could see some G League time. I think Dalton will get a little more PT just based off of him being able to shoot if he's able to do that. But right now, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. My boy D Free said it sounds like JJ may be planning to switch his lineup on a per game basis for the 5th starter. What do you think about that? I wouldn't mind. However, I like camaraderie. I like this team to build chemistry and camaraderie. It's going to be hard to do that if he's doing what Frank Vogel was doing a couple years back and just switching the starting lineup so often. And even Darvin Ham, right? That's what we have preseason for. I get it. You have to have a flexible roster, and every night we're going to have different matchups. But I think, that's a good question. D-Free, how you doing, by the way? But, yeah. We'll see. I don't like the small ball at all. Looks like we're going to continue that this year. And we might even have, it sounds like we're going to have the same exact starting lineup we had last game. I'll get a little more into that. My boy Amir said Dalton to the G League as well. Yep. I agree. I'm sorry. But, as much as I like Dalton the first 1/3 of his career, I haven't liked him the second 2/3 so far. It's still early. Jury's still out on him. But, yeah, he's number 14 for now. He said, I don't like constant shuffling of the lineup. Me neither, bro. Just because the camaraderie is missing. Now, if you're in a game and somebody's struggling and you want to take him off the starting lineup for that game, I'm all for it. In-game adjustments. But I suggest putting him back the next game, otherwise making a permanent switch. That is just my suggestion. We need a flexible lineup that can match up versus different players, right? Number 13, though, in my power rankings coming in to the regular season from the preseason, Nick Smith Jr. Yes, it is a shame, but it happened. In my opinion, Nick Smith Jr. surpassed both Bronny and Dalton. I thought he had a better preseason than both of them, if I'm being honest. He's on a 2-way deal. He's a bottom tier replacement, stem from the G League, but he's still only 21. He flashes perimeter creation. That's what I can say about him. He got to his spots. He made a crucial mistake in the last game. Otherwise, I would have ranked him a little bit higher, but yeah, that's it. I think I got to put him over both Bronny and Dalton, if I'm being honest. Because remember, this guy was a 27th pick, by the Charlotte Hornets. And they give up on players too soon. We've seen this happen before. Malik Monk. He needs to obviously play in the G League as well. But I think he's a little further developed than both of those guys. I think so. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm definitely putting Nick Smith over Bronny. He's further along offensively. Right, defensively, he still leaves a lot to be desired, but so does both Dalton and Bronny. Bronny might be too undersized to switch positions. He'd be okay guarding some ones, but the twos he's going to struggle in. And same thing with Dalton. At least Nick Smith is a little more under control offensively and gets 2 spots. I can vouch for him there at 13. Do you guys agree, disagree? Definitely want to know. I'll read a couple comments. I'll take some pauses, man. I want to know what you guys think. D3 says, doing good, fam. I don't mind Gabe being a starter for the first game. He's a bit quicker than a guy like Smart or run through all those screens. But for game 2, you need Smart or Vandal or Ferrant. Agreed. Abso-freaking-lutely agree with this take. I'm okay with, and again, I don't like switching the lineup around. I'm with my guy Solo, but I do agree that, and we're going to, you're going to be here on Around the League, God willing. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about it. Shout out to Solo. He'll be here as well. We'll talk about it on Around the League to see what our reaction was to that Tuesday game. But all in all, man, we'll see what JJ does. It's too early for me to be angry with the starting lineup. I'm not a fan of the small ball. I will say that. I'll leave it there. I don't like Gabe Vincent and Austin starting in the backcourt, all right? Because Gabe, even though he's a solid perimeter defender, if he goes up against bigger guards, he's going to get cooked. And Austin, even though he works on his defense and he gives effort, when he switches onto those wings, also gets cooked. So, but yeah, Nick Smith Jr. at number 13. My boy Amir said agreed. My guy Best League says disagree. All right, why do you disagree? I want to have that conversation. Again, this is a debate show. I want to know why you guys disagree. Why is Nick Smith not better than Bronny and Dalton if he showed he was much better? And I've seen him throughout his career. He shows that he's already more polished offensively than both of those players combined. First of all, Dalton cannot dribble to save his life. All right, he cannot. I'm sorry, he can't put the ball on the floor. And if he's not shooting, he's not giving you nothing. Bronny's just too undersized. He does give you effort. He is a feisty young guard with athleticism that I do like, but offensively, you don't have it. 1 for 17 from the field preseason. I'm sorry, I'll take Nick Smith over both of those combined right now, and I rest my case. But why do you disagree? Let's read it. My guy said we had the best rating next to Luka with Gabe Vincent. We had the best rating. Who's we? Yeah, Nick Smith over both of those all day, right? I'm saying he's more polished, and I'm just going based off of the preseason rankings heading into regular season. Who would you trust to close a game? Let's just assume that somebody gets injured, hurt, or suspended, okay? Who would you rather close the game? Bronny James, Nick Smith Jr., or Dalton? Who you rather have out there handling the rock if you need a point guard, if you need a combo guard at all? I'd rather have Nick Smith. That's why he's ranked at 13, and that's where we at. What's up, Laker fam unit? What's cracking? He's more NBA ready. Exactly. See, Greg also agrees, and my boy Amir definitely agrees. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. But Best League says we need to develop our roster players, not give them to. It's not about developing. That's what the G League is for. In-game action, though, we taking Nick Smith all day, and I think the majority consensus is that. Sound off in the comment section. If you guys are watching it live, sound off. If you guys aren't watching it live, sound off. I'll reply to as many comments as possible. Dalton for the last shot, I can agree with that, but I'm talking about the whole entire fourth quarter. Dalton's never taken a last shot unless somebody gets double teamed and he's wide open, right? But they're not going to trust him as his shot has been broken. His shot has been broken since he got benched last year. So, yeah, I'm taking Nick Smith as well. I agree. I think we mostly agree. That's fine if we disagree. But he said Dalton too scared to shoot. At least that's what it looks like. That's another good point. Nick Smith will get into his spots and he'll pull it, man. He's not afraid to gun it. He'll make mistakes and stuff. But all right, let's move on in the power rankings. So far to recap, Bronny 15, Dalton 14, and Nick Smith 13. Now let's get into the top 12. Okay, and these are, I think, the most crucial pieces that I will at some point be in the rotation or have rotation potential, either or. Let's start at number 12. I know we haven't seen him play yet, but Adou Thiero. Okay, Adou Thiero, guys. And let me tell you why I have him at 12 over the players I have played. 1, he's extremely explosive and athletic. 2, he's got great size. And 3, they say he's got a motor on him defensively. And that is going to capture some attention. He had DMP all games due to the knee swelling, right? But he's progressed to on-court workout, and JJ's been raving about him, right? He makes a compelling case for me to crack the rotation eventually. Remember, we traded up 2 spots to pick him at number 36. And he's got a great frame for 6'8", man. He's very explosive, out of Arkansas. He definitely screams two-way wing potential, right? In a LeBron-led system or Luka-led system, that could be huge. But without game reps right now, I can't put him higher than 12. I still like his potential, even coming in, even though he didn't get any playing time yet. I think this guy, for sure, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Put him at 12, and let's see if he can earn some minutes. Again, the power rankings will change. I have 3. One right now before the season starts, one midway through the season. I'll probably make it at a game 41 or 42. And then one at the end when it's all over, after the playoffs and everything. So, yeah, the 3 power rankings. This is the first one. This is how we start. These are subject to change. Let's see. G League used to be called the D League for Development League. Exactly. That's where you develop them. But I'm talking about power rankings going into the season for minutes, right? Let's see. Excited to see Thiero. Me too, man. I cannot wait. And again, I think it's fair to put him at 12 just based off of potential, right? I already think he has more potential than the previous 3 players I mentioned, right? Bronny, Dalton, and Nick Smith Jr. So, again, there's a chance that he can rank down or rank up from here. But again, Thiero coming in at number 12. At number 11, all right, I got to put Maxi Kleber. And again, this is power rankings mixed with preseason plus the potential in their career and what they've done. It's all mixed in there heading towards the season. I believe Maxi Kleber will give us some valuable minutes here and there, maybe 5 to 10 a game. He provides something different to the table. He brings something completely different, right? And that's spacing the floor, right? Now, he was limited to 5 minutes. He was 2 points on 2 free throws. The rest, he was DMP due to the quad injury. But again, this guy right here, he's got stretch big utility. You know, his career average is 36.9 from beyond the arc, and he was a throw-in piece in the trade in which we acquired Luka. Now, this dude is going to be behind Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton, but that's okay because, again, his quad has limited him, and we can bring him along slowly. But, you know, that tempers our expectations a little bit. However, you know, he's had these foot plague injuries since 2024. But before that, he was averaging 20 minutes per game. I think Reddick is going to definitely find some role for this 3-point volume switch shooter who can switch multiple positions from 4 to 5, and he can help space the floor if we go smaller as well, small ball lineups out there. But he's a veteran. He's 33. He definitely has no all-star potential, but he's a solid veteran. We've seen him hit game winners before, and unfortunately, I was there when he hit one on us. So yeah, I think Maxi Kleber. I think I'll put him there at number 11. All right. Let's see. I'll read a couple comments before I progress to my top 10. Amir said, yeah, we haven't seen much of Kleber yet. I think he could be critical down the stretch. If anything, even if he doesn't play, he's going to be a veteran leader. So I think it's justified to put him right where I put him, right? As long as he's producing something, whether it's leadership on the bench or leadership on the floor, veterans, you can never have too many of them. And think about this. Him and LeBron are the only 2 guys over 30. Everybody else is young, man, 30 and under. Luka, 26, Austin, 26. Like everybody else is in their mid-20s to lower 20s, while LeBron and Maxi Kleber are the only 2, or maybe, I forgot, is Gabe Vincent? Gabe Vincent might be 30. I think he's like 29 or 30, somewhere around there. But again, this is an extremely young team, and it's good to have these type of veterans just like a Maxi Kleber. And again, he's going to provide some different than what we have with the current 2 big men, right? DeAndre Ayton is in between mid-range game, rim protection, lob threat. And then Jackson Hayes, lob threat, energy guy, spark plug guy, who, by the way, he's been doing a lot better. He definitely moved up into my top 10 in these power rankings, and I'll give credit where credit is due. All right. Now, number 10, I think this one's going to be controversial. You guys might want to debate me on this one, but I'm putting Gabe Vincent at number 10. Now, the reason I'm not putting him ahead of guys like Jake LaRavia, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jackson Hayes is because he had a tremendous preseason, but we've seen this guy for 2 years, and he's been very mid. So he needs to show it to me in regular season before I move him up my power rankings. If we're just going based off of just preseason, just by itself, then he would have been a top 7 player. But I'm going based off of his entire Laker career and what I expect from him versus why I still think guys like Vando are going to have better, more impactful seasons. Hope if he proves me wrong, so be it, man. If this guy plays like a top 7 player on the Lakers, that'll be a huge commodity to have because we do need backup ball handlers. I still don't agree with him starting. But at number 10, yeah, I got to put him there because you know what? What he brings to the table, 3-point shooting, a little bit of playmaking, and some solid defense. Again, I still don't value that over other guys that are ahead of him on the list. However, in 3 games, he had 39 points. He was scorching hot. He went 14 for 22 from the field, 11 for 16 from beyond the arc, 5 assists, 3 rebounds in over 3 games in 72 minutes. He averaged 13 points per game, shoot over 50% from beyond the arc. Guys, this guy is making a super compelling case to start. I understand why JJ's doing it. I still don't agree with small ball, maybe it's my past traumas, but you know, in a backup guard role, I think he's going to shine throughout the season, man. And if he shoots anywhere near 50% from 3-point line, anywhere near, like I'm talking 42, anywhere in there, it's going to change the game for the bench, right? But let's see, you know, his career mark has been 37.8 from beyond the arc, and that's still pretty good, right? So, but let's see how it translates to regular season. I don't want to get too excited for Gabe. I know he was injured the last couple of years, but he wasn't injured in the playoffs last year, and he was hooky, man. Let's be honest. He was horrible. Again, I like what I saw. I'm still not going to put him over Vando and other guys. And based on what other guys bring, I like the size better. You know, it is what it is. Agree to disagree if we disagree there. All right, number 9, I'm going to put Jared Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt at number 9. Yes, he still shows a lot of lack of offensive production, but this is a guy who can lock up the best player on the opposition. He only had 14 points in the entire preseason in 3 games, but he went 50%. He was attacking the rim better. He had 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, and a block in over 3 games in preseason. But again, he's elite. He's very versatile. You know, career average 1.2 steals per game. He's an anchor. He's somebody who's going to spike us up and defensively. And I think him and Marcus Smart are going to be 2 of a kind out there, man. They're going to be 2 of a kind. I can't wait to see what Vando brings, but he is definitely my number 9 for sure. What do you guys think? Too low, too high on the list? Talk to me, fam. And he's only not higher because he still hasn't shown me that shot ability that he's going to need in order to get 20-plus minutes. Looks like JJ is only going to use him as a spark. You know, we'll see. As the best league disagrees, but he disagrees with me on everything. He said, oh, my God, Gabe over Jackson, Vando, Smart is disrespecting. Wait, what? No, I didn't put Gabe over Jackson, Vando, or Smart. I put Jackson, Vando, and Smart over Gabe. Yeah, under. I'm sorry. He showed me a little bit this preseason. I got to see more than that, right? He lost me the last 2 years. Year number 1, the excuse was he was hurt. Fine. Year number 2, he had an okay regular season. He was hit or miss. And then playoffs, he disappeared. So I'm going in with some skepticism. I'm not going to put him higher on my list till he shows it to me in the regular season, all right? I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment. I still think Vando's much higher as a player on this list than Gabe, but I'll put him for 1 spot higher just because that 3-ball doesn't look like it's improved much. All right, so there you have it. Number 9 for Jared Vanderbilt. Again, agree or disagree, sound off in the comment section. I love it. At number 8, I'm going to put Jake LaRavia. Now, Jake can't dribble, right? Jake cannot dribble, but he can shoot. Jake LaRavia can shoot. He went 7 for 14 in this preseason from the field, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals in over 3 games. Here's why I put him higher than our guy Vando. Simple reason. He's a two-way player. He showed defense, obviously not as good as Vando's, but he also showed offense that's much better than Vando's. So for that reason, I think JJ is going to utilize him even more than Vando. And I think this guy came in here to replace some of what DFS left behind. I'm not saying he's the same caliber player, but it's a similar cut, right? It's a more discount cut. He shows two-way. I don't like him dribbling the ball, but cutting in straight lines to the basket, moving well without the basketball, you know, little turnaround jump shots over smaller players here and there, and just spotting up and knocking down threes. I can definitely see him being very solid. You know, he shoots 44% from the field. So that efficiency is definitely going to fit JJ Redick's spacing, while his defensive IQ, he had 4 steals. It complements guys like Rui and other role players that aren't as great defenders. So you can plug him in. He's kind of like a glue guy. Again, not going to wow anybody. Once in a while, he might, do something offensively here and there, maybe 15 points here, 15 points there. But again, for the price that we got him for the veteran minimum, I think he's going to produce a lot. And I got to put him over Vando simply because Vando sometimes will not get playing time when he's not knocking down shots or hitting his layups. Simple as that. And sometimes he gets sloppy. So for those reasons, I'm going to put him there. Now, I never imagined I would put this man over Vanderbilt, over Gabe, and over Jake LaRavia. But he really impressed this preseason. I think at the added weight, he's no longer going to get bullied as much. I think it actually helped him. He was catching lobs, blocking shots, and running the rim. If Jackson Hayes can stay efficient, and one thing that I noticed about Jackson Hayes, and this is why I put him at number 7, is that he wasn't in foul trouble. I know it was limited minutes, but he's so much better as a backup. He's so much better as a backup, not as a starter like last year, get into foul trouble. He seems more disciplined. Maybe it's the weight that's keeping him grounded, pun intended. But I have to put him there, man. I have to put him at number 7, whether we like him or not. Got to be fair. He had a top 5 impressive preseason. And definitely my number 7. He said, Jake from Pasadena to rep and see. Hey, let's go. Pasadena in the house. But yeah, I really think, Jackson Hayes comes in at number 7. What do you guys think of that? Too low, too high? He had a very impressive preseason. Can that continue to regular season? TBD. But heading into preseason, this is another player that had an abysmal, and I'm talking about an absolutely abysmal postseason. It was just him and Gabe Vincent and Austin. They had some abysmal postseasons, right? But I think he's looking to make ends meet, and I gotta put him there. I gotta put him at 7. He really impressed me this summer league. This preseason, and let's see how that translates to regular season. But I think the weight. All right. Now we get into the top 6, and this is where we get into the nitty gritty, man. This is where we're probably gonna have a little bit more controversy, okay? Because this player right here could have been a top 5 easily, okay? But he's just on the outside looking in, barely. But he really jumped up in my chart, and I knew he would be a top 7-6 player on the roster from the moment we acquired him. I think you guys know who we're talking about, man. This man is very smart, especially on the defensive end, and his name is Marcus. All right, put Marcus Smart at number 6, okay? This dude, man, he's going to be just a great revelation for us all year long. Gotta put him there. Why? I mean, his last game by itself showcased everything he could bring. He had 14 points on 5 for 11 from the field. First game, he didn't score a point in 20 minutes. Look a little rusty. Hadn't played in quite some time. But it was the last game versus the Kings. He was making an impact, both sides. He had 14 points, 5 for 11 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals. That was so impressive, guys. Former defensive player of the year. He's going to get into their chest, and he's an anchor. He's the type of player that's going to spike up everybody else on the floor. He's going to hold people accountable. He's really a leader, both on and off the floor. I think Marcus Smart, again, this ranking is not just what he did preseason, but what I feel like he's going to do based on what he's done in his career with the Lakers. I got to put him as a top 6 player. I think he's a top 6 player on the Lakers as we speak, even though he's not 100% healthy yet. And what do you guys think? Too high, too low? Let's see. I'll read a couple comments here. My guy said, agree with your 6 through 10. Gabe, 10 to 6. Fair enough. Let's see. I like that lineup. He said, Gabe can do more floor than Jake, though. Well, Gabe is just a little undersized. I think Jake, you can plug him in there with more versatility. Just because Gabe, when they have big guards out there, he's going to get exposed. While Jake, he can guard 1 through 3. Sometimes even some small ball 4s. So, yeah. Let's see. That's what my wife and I did for our kids. Gave them names that you can't tell what race they are. You guys are having a completely different conversation. You love it. Love to see it. Smart brings that defensive attitude. SoCal. Marcus Smart is exactly what his last name says. He's smart, man. He is the type that he can gamble on a passing lane, but he's just such a great on-ball defender. Reminds me of like Dennis Schroeder. Reminds me of like the Meta World Pieces, but from a different position, obviously. I'm telling you right now, Marcus Smart is going to make maximum impact. Now he's going to have games that are ugly where he has 0 points. But sometimes he's the type of player you can't look at the stat sheet always. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it'll jump off the page. 4 steals, 14 points in limited minutes. Great. But sometimes Marcus Smart is going to have them 2-point games, them 4-point games, similar to Vando. But it's on the defense and rebounding where we're going to have the edge with him. He could change a game on a defensive end. You could put him in late game in a situation where somebody's hot, like a Steph Curry, once he gets fully healthy, and you could throw him out there just in case Vando's in foul trouble. Or you don't want to have Vando because he won't space the floor. Then you got that luxury of throwing out a Marcus Smart. So what we lost from a guy like Dennis Schroeder a couple years back when we let him go, we get back in a guy like Marcus Smart. But I think once he gets healthy, he'll be even better. I think he'll be even better. He's cut from the same cloth, like I said, Meta World Peace. It's not no accident that he was Defensive Player of the Year before. That's not an accident at all. And maybe he could regain a similar form. Maybe not as good, but a similar form. He's still only 31. People act like he's 36 or something, 37. Like he's like PJ Tucker. He's not. Going to have a much bigger impact. All right. Now we get into the top 5. And to me, this top 5 will eventually be the starting lineup. This top 5 will eventually be the starting lineup. Okay. At number 5, and I think in this order is how they're going to make the impact this season. At number 5, Deandre Ayton. All right. Deandre Ayton was sensational. Sensational. Yo, days. Yeah. By the way, if you guys are in my fantasy draft league tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time, do not miss. If you are going to miss due to work or family or anything, make sure you place your queue and the order of drafted players you want. That way the computer can draft okay for you. They're never going to do a crazy job like if you're there. But, my suggestion is don't miss because that could be your chance at the $150. All right. And thank you for everybody for joining the league, man. You guys are the best. All right. Moving on. Like I said, number 5, got to go with my guy Deandre Ayton. And for multiple reasons, I think he showcased everything we needed to see for him this preseason. To me, he lived up to my hype for him. He went 13 for 27 from the field. He had 32 rebounds in 4 games. He had 7 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. I think he had more than 3 blocks. That stat might be wrong here. But, he was great, man. And, the thing is he can hit the mid-range shot. He's going to be good in the pick and rolls. You can tell they still haven't connected with him on the lobs and stuff like that. We got to kind of slow it down on the pick and rolls for him because he's not like Jackson Hayes where he's super explosive to the basket. But he finishes really well. Good free throw shooter, mid-range shooter, and from occasion he can step out and hit the 3. This was our big free agent splash. He's going to be a top 5 player on this team, period. I think he'll be there. I'll be disappointed if he's not there on any of my power rankings throughout the course of the year. But, the more him and Luka, him and Austin, and then eventually him and LeBron get accustomed to each other, I can see 15 points easily, maybe even more. I can see 10 to 11 rebounds per game. I can see 2 blocks easily and, a couple of assists. He's that type of guy. He's actually a high IQ guy, and I hope he regains form for what he did on his way to the NBA Finals when he was with the Suns. If he could do that, then my goodness, man, that'll be very awesome, man. Ayton for sure is going to be tremendous for us. Does anybody object to Ayton being a top 5? Can I read a couple comments? Let's see. Solo says, if Vando can knock down 3s consistently, that lineup with him, Smart and Ayton, can get us back in games in a hurry. Defensively, we're going to have many different – don't forget about Jake LaRavia, who's also a great defender. We're going to have many different looks out there, man. It's going to be nice because JJ has some toys to play with. He's like Andy from Toy Story. He's going to have all these different new toys that he didn't have last year. Like, we didn't have a rolling big man like Ayton with a soft touch who can finish around the basket or hit the mid-range last year. We didn't have that. We lost that after we traded AD. We gained that to some degree. Obviously, he's no AD, but I'll take, a fraction or a half of the player while we still have Luka. That's a huge W. We didn't have a perimeter defensive beast like a Marcus Smart out there, or even a wing player. Because even though DFS was a very good wing player, let's be honest, he had a subpar year for us, especially in the playoffs, a little bit of a disappointment, and he got injured. He's still not going to be back with the Rockets till God knows when. So wish him the best speedy recovery. But I think it was a blessing in disguise that we got Jake LaRavia to replace some of what we lose with DFS, right? So again, but Ayton, number 5, easy. That was probably the easiest person to slot in on my list. At number 4, and he needs to be here and he needs to stay here. Otherwise, you're going to hear a lot of trade chatter. Remember, this guy, I believe he's in a contract year. Rui Hachimura. This guy, man. This guy shows potential. He's been knocking down tons of 3s. He did it. He ended up with 53 points, 21 out of 38 from the field, 6 for 12 from beyond the arc. That's 50% in preseason in 4 games, right? 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And, he's right around his average, 13.3 points per game, shooting 53% from the field is what happened in preseason. I need him a little bit more assertive, but he is our 4th best player as of right now on this team. Now, I need him to stay there, man, because if Ayton overtakes him, you're going to hear a lot of trade chatter about Rui, about maybe Rui being included in a package for a guy like Wiggins and stuff like that. I personally like Rui. I love what he did in the playoffs. You could argue that he was the 2nd or 3rd best player in the playoffs last year. He was above AR for sure and above everybody else. I like him a lot, and I want him to be good. But the problem I have with Rui is that this guy, he'll have a great game and then 2 to 3 bad ones. The inconsistency throughout his career is almost like he doesn't have the hunger. Plus, rebounding is a weakness for him. He averages like 2 to 3 max. We need more than that. This dude is a 6'8", 240-pounder. He needs to average at least 4 to 5 rebounds to help everybody else and take the load off of guys like LeBron when he comes back. But other than that, he doesn't have too many deficiencies. His mid-range is beautiful. His turnaround jump shot is nice. His spotting up has been great. But again, you're right about that. Best league. his defense sometimes. And when he wants to defend, you can see him come from the weak side and block a shot here and there. You can see him crash the glass and do some great things. But man, he's just so inefficient. I'll put him at number 4. I think he's penciled in there for the rest of the year, unless Deandre Ayton exceeds my 15 and 10, and then we have to give it to Ayton, man, for sure. But for now, Rui kind of solidified at 4. My guy said, "My boy Rui." I think we know what the next 3 are going to be. There's going to be conversations on what the order is, but at number 3 is Austin Reaves. He's about to have a semi-all-star season, depending on how LeBron comes back. If LeBron comes back aggressive and holding the ball a lot, then Austin's numbers will take a hit. But I think LeBron being out for a month, I think Austin's about to sink his heels on the roster, and he's about to show everybody, hey, man, I could average 23 to 24, even with Luka on the roster. And he's about to have an all-star season. I predict it, as long as he stays healthy. I know he had his worst game the last game, but he loves going up against Golden State. Pick him up on Prize Picks. Prize Picks, Underdog, all of that. Daily fantasy sports apps. Shout out to the sponsorship, by the way. Promo code DTLF. Pick him up. I think he's about to have a huge game against the Warriors. He loves playing against Golden State. Golden State is the type of team that they're a solid defensive team, but they'll let you back in games. And guys like Austin, man, who love attacking downhill, he loves to feast all over them. They don't really have an elite shot blocker. You can call Draymond a solid paint protector, but he gets away with a lot of ticky-tacks. Bottom line is, this dude is getting ready to have a monster season. And don't be surprised if LeBron comes back a little slow, if Rui ends up jumping up in the power rankings while LeBron slides down. I never thought I'd say that, but because of LeBron's injuries, there's a chance that he kind of puts it on cruise control for the rest of the regular season and then puts it on hyperdrive for the postseason. That's what I would suggest for LeBron, by the way. But for now, Austin is number 3. I'm projecting 22 to 23 points per game, maybe even more. And, him and Luka might be the best backcourt in the league this season. We'll see. He's got to stay healthy, though, and he's got to continue to work on that defensive end because that's where his real weakness relies on. And then at number 2, yeah, he's about to cook for sure. I wouldn't mind that, Jamar, but I don't think the Knicks do that. At number 2, for the first time probably in his basketball career, LeBron is no longer the Batman of the team. He's a Batman. He's more like Batman Beyond. But LeBron is the number 2, and rightfully so. This is not Luka's team. You see, he lost weight. He's setting, he's going to set the example. He's putting in the work. He's buying all the love and trust from his teammates, catering to him this offseason, going over the top in order to build that wonderful chemistry that you need to have an MVP caliber season. LeBron James, man, what can I say about him? He's injured. He's out for at least a month. Reevaluated midway through November is what they're saying. He's going to take his time. I respect it. I can't put you at number 1, though, due to the injury, due to the fact you're getting older, and due to the fact that Luka has now taken the keys. But even at number 2, year 23 at number 2, man, I tell you, bro, he's still going to be tremendous for us. And I still think if we're going to have a championship run, it's because of this guy right here, all right, who's been there, done that. And if anybody can lead us over the top in the playoffs, number 23 will be him. All right. People want to discard him and say, we're better off without him. No, we're not. He is a superstar. He's a generational talent. He's one of the GOATs. Top 3 player of all time for sure. Debate where you want to put him in the top 3, but he's up there, man. And I think we're in for a heck of a season from King James. I still think he averages 23 points per game to match his jersey number and all of that. And, we got a super chat. Let's go.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Thank you so much for super chat. Next phase, he says, Loco is pure uncut raw cheese. Yo, you're right about Coloco, man. He never developed, unfortunately. I like to give the benefit of the doubt to players. I'm very patient with young players because I see the potential. But you're right. Unfortunately, Coloco is, as you have been saying since last year. So credit to you. Cheeks. Now, he's on a 2-way contract, man. Honestly, I'm disappointed. I would have gave the contract to RJ Davis. I was disappointed we waived him. I really like RJ. I think he's better than Nick Smith right now, offensively at least. And I would have loved to see him on the roster. Maybe they bring him on South Bay. But yeah, Coloco, yes, you're right. And then he said, give Dixon the 2-way when he's healthy. Smart gave you fool's gold in the preseason. He can't sustain it. Stop it. Smart is a world-class defender. He can sustain it. And I just don't understand why you dislike Smart. Or give me one good reason, bro. Because you've made some good points on here, but you've also been wrong. Give me one good reason why you believe Smart won't be able to sustain it. Is it the health concerns? Because that could be the only thing I could think of. Outside of that, he was diving on the floor for loose balls, setting the tempo. Like, there was that one play, and you can see how he infects his basketball teammates when he's out there. Even if he's not 100%, Jake LaRavia was able to dive for that loose ball that he poked away right after him. You don't see that in preseason. Can you imagine what the intensity is going to look like from this man and from his peers that are out there with him on the floor during regular season and especially during postseason? I respectfully disagree with this take, even though I appreciate the super chat, my guy. Why? I'll give you 3 reasons why I disagree. 1, because this dude is proven historically. When he's healthy and he's getting there, he's starting to get there. He said it himself, right? He's not 100% yet, but he's going there. But when he's healthy, he's a world-class defender, all right? Grade A. One of the top, probably a top 15 in this league still, if he's healthy, right? That's number 1. Number 2, the history's there, man. Defensive player of the year. You can't discard a player like that who's been there, done that. We've had some world-class defenders on this team, but when was the last time we had a defensive player of the year? When was the last time? Shaq? Probably the last time. Think about that. That's food for thought. If he ever reclaims even 75% of what he used to be, watch out, NBA. And I think he will. I think this is the motivation. He's playing for the greatest franchise on earth. And then finally, he reminds me so much of Rondo, where fans like my boy Next Phase are going to complain about him because he's going to have off games due to his health, his age, and stuff like that. But when the playoffs start, man, he's the type of person that'll cut off his right arm in order to win a game. All right. That's the type of person he is. And I, for those reasons, I got to disagree with you, my boy. Another super chat. Appreciate you. He said, you said it, health. Smart won't last the season. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to wish negative karma, and I know you're not doing it either, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I hope he's healthy. But I agree with you. If he's not healthy, obviously he's not going to be able to produce. He's still only 31. He's still only 31. We're talking about this guy as if he was 37 or 38. If it was like PJ Tucker's age, then I would have 110% agree. But as long as I see him continuing to get healthy and get better, and it was a great sign that you see him diving. That means he's trusting his body. Diving on preseason, trusting your body, starting to feel better. So I like what I saw from him, especially that last game. And I've been wanting this guy on the Lakers roster for how long, chat? It's been like 2 years since he left Boston. I was like, ooh, Lakers should look at him if he becomes a trade candidate from Memphis. I knew Memphis wouldn't be able to hold him. I knew it. Even though he also fits the type of player that Memphis usually likes. But he's just not Grizzlies material, man. He's Laker material. And I'm happy he's finally here. I think he's going to prove a lot of doubters wrong. But, hey, if I'm wrong, I will admit it, just like I did about Koloko. All right? He said Koloko's Konoko. That's funny. You're funny, man. The front office is consistently waiving the wrong players. You know what? Lately they have. And I think this also has to do with the fact that we no longer have Jerry West, his son, who used to be on this team. He then went to work for the Clippers, unfortunately. And so he was a great scout for us for young talent. I think we're giving the Bus boys a lot of credit, and maybe they did deserve it. But as of recently, man, we've whiffed on the last 2 draft picks so far, apparently. Right? Dalton hasn't lived up to the hype that people were saying he was going to be. And Jalen Hood-Schifino didn't live up to his hype. So we whiffed on those 2 first-round picks, which when we had Jerry West, his son, we weren't whiffing on those. And then, like you said, we've been letting go of players that I believe definitely deserve an opportunity to at least showcase what they have. RJ Davis being the recent casualty, unfortunately. All right, so we made it to number 1 on the list, guys. He said AD could have won a couple of defensive player of the years, but I digress. Exactly. But, technically, I was just saying when was the last time we actually had one that won the award? Because we have one now in Marcus Smart. But you get my point. But I know what you mean. At number 1, obviously, is Luka the Don, man. Luka Dončić is number 1 for obvious reasons. He came back in shape like I predicted he would from the moment we acquired him. He came back looking phenomenal. This dude dropped 31 in his sleep. All right, and he's going to continue to be a tremendous MVP candidate this year for sure for us. And what can I say, man? This dude, in 2 games, he had 56 points. All right, 15 for 31 from the field, 10 for 19 from beyond the arc, with 12 rebounds, 13 assists, a steal, a block, and just 2 games in 54 minutes. Think about this. 56 points in 54 minutes. Okay? Imagine what he's going to do in the regular season when it counts, right? He averaging 28 points in 2 preseason games. Crazy, bro. He's going to be insane. I think he'll average 31 in the regular season. He's definitely going to make his case for MVP. He is now the driver of this Lakers franchise. As you can see, he's the one who recruited the free agents. Lakers are now bending the ear to him. Clearly, he is the number one. If anybody objects, I'd love to discuss it. I'm open for discussions. Why or why not should Luka be number one? I think it's hands down. He has, from the summer till now, he's proven that he's going to be that guy. The guy that we knew he could always be, even when he was at Dallas. I think, he's got that chip on his shoulder. From all the conversations and talks, Dallas basically saying he was. The irony to me is that Dallas traded AD, and I love AD, no slander there, for Luka because they said Luka was out of shape, and then AD comes in this summer a little overweight, gained a couple of pounds. I think they said 15 to 30. I don't know the precise amount, but there's an irony in that. But Luka is motivated and he's ready, man. He said, Solo said, Luka makes offense look easy. It's crazy how he walks to the rim. He just plays at his own pace. I always say Luka has 2 gears, slow and slower. If you notice, when he gets to the basket, he goes he speeds up a little bit, but then he slows down. And then right when he does the Euro step or the drop step, or whatever he does at the basket, he slows down even slower. So I love that he played. Nobody can speed him and rush him up. Nobody can rush him, guys. And there's a lot of good defenders in this league that try, but they get cooked. And Luka is a generational talent, especially offensively. And if he buys into the defensive end, my goodness, man, he is going to be tremendous. But again, I think the starting lineup will eventually be my top 5 players that I already mentioned. All right. And rightfully so. I think it's going to be Luka, LeBron, Austin, Rui, and DeAndre Ayton. I think those are going to be your starting lineup in the future. For now, I would slot in Marcus Smart instead of Gabe Vincent. I'd have the exact same starting lineup that's going to debut versus the Warriors, but instead of Gabe Vincent, it would be Austin Reaves, LeBron James, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, and Luka. Right? That would be my starting 5. Just because, again, I really wanted to see what Vando was going to do. And unfortunately, Vando offensively still isn't there. So I'll take Marcus Smart, who showed me a lot more offensively than Vando, with some similar defense. What do you guys think, guys? Sound off. What are your thoughts? That's my power rankings. That's my starting 5 lineup. Guys, we only got 2 more sleeps before we get to watch our Lakers take the court. It's felt like an eternal summer, but we got through it together, man. Very excited. I'm proud of all the LA teams right now. Shout out to my Rams who took care of business. I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. to watch the game, but they took care of business in London, smoking the other team tonight. So shout out to them. Dodgers coming up on Friday, man, for the World Series, but the Lakers this Tuesday, man. LA Sports is back with a vengeance, guys. This video was brought to you and sponsored by Underdog, all right? Promo code DTLF, or you could just scan that barcode right there. Gets you guys 100 in play credit when you deposit and play your first 5. Do it, guys. Do it. They have so many great features on that app, and it continues to evolve. Talking about great features and apps, my second sponsorship is also phenomenal and also has that promo code that I definitely recommend, guys, and that is Prize Picks, all right? Play 5 to get 50 in promo credits, man. And you have a chance to make a lot of moolah, man, with these daily fantasy apps. Chasing the Bag is going to be back as soon as the season starts. Again, if you guys join my fantasy league, make sure you guys don't miss the draft tomorrow at 5. Also, I just recently had you guys been requesting for quite some time, Late Night Horror Stories with me. And Yessie, if you guys missed it, is on my second channel, Primetime TV. Go watch the episode. We're going to have another one this Saturday at around the same time, around 7 or 8 p.m. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the second channel, all that good stuff. Follow me on Playback, all that phenomenal stuff, guys, because we got so much content year-round, and this is going to be such a busy week for your boy on this channel. So premium content coming for each and every single one of you. And I'm excited. All right, I'll read a couple comments. I see my boy Denny's with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. He said, players have a rough 1 to 2 years with injuries sometimes. Marcus is going to be huge. He said, we also need to stick with Vando and let him build confidence. We good. I'm excited for Vando because he brings one thing, man, and that is tenacity. Defensively, he is tenacious. When he's healthy, he is a top 10 defender in this league. I can say that with my chest. You can't name me 10 defensive players that are better than him at any position combined. He's definitely a top 10. Maybe he might just be in the top 10, but he's there. And there was 1 year when he was looking like the best defender in the perimeter, and that was when we acquired him. He hasn't been able to regain that form the last couple of years due to injuries, But like you said, man, he's going to be huge for us. And him and Marcus combining, I think is going to be a sight for sore eyes. We're going to cry tears of joy, especially those of us that are defensive fans, right? Defense fans. So just very excited for this season, man. I still got us winning. Even with LeBron injured, I got us winning 50 to 55 games. Maybe closer to 50 now with LeBron's injury. It might cost us a couple more games. But, man, it's going to be fun, man. And thank you so much for Super Chat, bro. I look forward to seeing you in the fantasy league. My guy Solo says, I don't disagree. Your list is fair. I wasn't as impressed with Ayton, but I don't disagree with his placement. It's going to be exciting, man. Ayton's going to look a lot better offensively as we progress throughout the season because there's going to be more playmakers added. Once LeBron comes back, all the attention he gets, plus Austin, plus Luka, assuming they all start together, the other two players are going to be the biggest beneficiaries, whether that's Rui and Ayton or Austin and Ayton, whoever, they're going to benefit. Right. So, again, it is just so fun, man. So fun. It's going to be a great year. Guys, keep it locked. Make sure you guys subscribe if you already haven't. If you guys are watching from Kick, from Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel for premium NBA/Laker content. All right. It's your #1 source for all things Lakers basketball and so much more. Keep it locked, guys. DTLF signing out. See you guys on Tuesday. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Peace.